Today at the farm, we are replanting a bunch of soybeans, which means I am the flag boy and I'm leading out in front of the planter with our side-by-side here and going out to drowned out spots like this that were previously drowned out. And now we have a very low soybean stand out here. So I'll be taking flags, marking at the end of the field where I want Dad to come back with the planter so we can put some more soybeans out at spots like this behind me. Looking off in the distance, you can see that the soybeans look actually pretty good. But here, where some water stand, you can see the soybeans are really sparse where they're at. There's a big gap in between them all, and the crust on top of the soil has basically inhibited any of the seed from coming up and killed most of the seed that we had planted in here. So the thought is, Dad will come in again here with the planter, start dropping some more soybeans. That way we can hopefully have some at least seed growing out here this summer, and it won't be a weed patch, and hopefully have something to harvest come fall. It's so inconsistent across all the field where it drowned it out. So I'm just driving the Ranger from spot to spot where I see the soybean stands are looking really low, and then putting flags down at the end. So for this spot here, I got to find where the center of the planter was. That way he can stay on the same planter pass and follow that down to fill in some beans here. So we'll take this one up to the end and put a flag there for him to come back to later. This is going to be the first pass to bring him up to that blank spot. So we'll stick a flag here. Now I'll just keep cruising across the field, trying to find any spots that look like they're bare or need more seeds for him to come back to with the planter. Here's another pretty big, large area, probably 3 acres or so, that's completely drowned out. You might think we didn't actually plant this, but I'll dig up some seed to show you guys what it's looking like underneath. Here is one that I found. You can't really tell that it's a soybean seed other than the fact that I can see a little bit of seed treatment on the outside of it. And it's basically just turned into rotten mush that isn't going to germinate to be anything. So it's just going to go back into the soil's profile, which is why we need to put some more seeds out here to get seed growing and to get soybeans up and out of the ground. I did not expect things to look like this up here. A little over 3 weeks ago, I was walking down in this spot of this field, and there was 2 feet of standing water. We just got doused with a 5-inch rain, and the water was no joke above my boots. And here I am 3 weeks later, and there is not a single soybean that needs to be replanted, which is crazy because the water was so high and it stayed high for about 3 days. But I'm thankful we're not going to have to replant this big portion that I thought for sure was going to be toasted. So we'll keep checking the rest of the field. Hopefully it keeps surprising me in a good way. I just finished running across the entirety of this field, and surprisingly there was only those 2 spots that looked like they needed to be replanted. And since Dad's already got the planter a couple miles away planting a field that he scouted late last night, I'm gonna give him a call, let him know where that flag's at. That way he knows where to start. We'll start stuffing some more beans in over here.
Yeah, I need some good news.
You need good news?
Yeah. You got any?
Yeah, the good news is the beans by those 3 big intakes look good.
Okay.
The bad news is there's like, I've marked 1 flag on the east side right off the dirt road that you'll have to take kind of probably halfway between there and the hog barn. As you guys can tell, Dad's enjoying replanting these fields about as much as I am. It's definitely not the most fun job in the world, just from the simple fact we've already been out to all these fields, already planted them all the first time. Then bam, Mother Nature slams us with a new deck of cards and says, here, now you got to play by these rules. So we're bringing the planter and doing everything over again. And it definitely doesn't pay much, if any at all, because crop insurance just covers, I believe, a little bit for our fuel and wear and tear on the tractor, nothing really for time. And the seed, the replant seed, is all free. So basically, we're out our time on doing all this effort to make the rights of all the wrongs that are out in the fields. But I'm gonna go check one more field like that, and I'll meet up with you guys back at the planter to see how Dad's doing. Here he comes behind me with the planter to plant the little blank spot we have up ahead here. He keeps the planter raised, that way we don't knock down any of the soybeans that look good in those spots of the field. Then when we do get to the bare spot that we're coming up to, that's where he'll lower the planter, shift the line over about 3 inches, that we're planting 3 inches off of our current row, so we're not knocking down if there is any crop out there yet. And you'll stub in another 160,000 soybeans per acre. this is the closing wheel line here left behind from the planter that he just made a pass from. You can see we're just 3 inches away from the other soybeans we planted out here on May 10th. Here the stand doesn't look so bad, but it definitely helps because we raised the row cleaners all the way up, and those are the teeth that go in front of the row unit. And since we're able to raise those up, we're not dinging or damaging our soybeans that are already out here, which is one thing to watch for when he comes back here for the second pass.
Many years of practice.
Many years of practice?
What I want to talk about.
Are you having fun yet?
That was way beyond fun.
It's almost gonna sound silly to say, but once we get all of our drowned out spots replanted, we're almost gonna be wanting some rain. I mean, look at some of this crust we're planting this stuff into. We're definitely gonna want some moisture to help germinate the seed, and also to help bust up some of this crust that's in these drowned out spots where the oxygen is already very well depleted. As I'm walking to the next drowned out spot up above, I should mention I'm thankful that not the whole field looks like this. It is just certain spots where water is set. I mean, here, as I'm walking from that last pond we came to the next one we're going to right over here, the soybeans look really good and healthy here. So thankfully it's just small portions of the field, but it is still a pain in the butt to bring the planter out here and to fill in all these drowned out spots. He's got 2 more spots at this field that he wants to stub in a few more beans. And I did bring out a couple extra bags in the truck. So now I just gotta walk back to the truck. We'll throw those bags in there. Thankfully the seed is free. Doesn't mean our labor is quite so much free, but we'll throw those bags in there. And then we should, fingers crossed, finally be done planting soybeans for the year. Dad's just heading to the perfect round that we've been looking for all year, and that's because he is just now heading on to the last round of planting for 2024. At least we hope, as long as we don't get any more gully washers, large amounts of rain, which even if we do, I don't even know if we will come back out and replant because it's already June 12th. And really, the soybeans we're planting out here, if we raise 40 bushel beans, that would honestly be very impressive. And with the corn we've replanted, if we raise 100 bushel corn, that'll be impressive. But it's been a long planting season. This is the last planting video of the year, at least I think. So thanks so much everybody for watching, and we'll see ya in the next one.